So we mentioned this last week, but Patrick Bet David decided to make it a clip of his to talk about how UPS drivers get paid too much. And let's play. Man, where do we start here? Yeah, let's just play this clip and them reacting to it. It's a longer clip. We'll skip some of it here, but yeah, they decided to clip this from their show and be the thing that they wanted to be, splash on the feed all day.
Okay. What do you think is the average pay for a full-time employee now at UPS? Don't say anything, Tom. What do you think? UPS.
Hey, Vinny, what could Brown do for you? Give me the answer.
55,000.
Okay, full-time, right?
Full time. I'm assuming those people want to kill everything.
Not minimum wage. Average.
Average. The key word is average salary for a full-time
55?
employee.
You said 55? Well, I'm a huge fan of The Price is Right. I'm going 55-1.
55.
Okay. Well, first of all, you win. That was not a hard bet
Adam,
to do, but I'm going to tell you what it is.
Yes.
Okay, it's... Oh my God! I can't believe this is it.
Way higher.
Okay, what is the minimum wage right now, federal in America?
First of all, motherfucker, why are you talking about the minimum wage? Second of all, he doesn't know what he's talking about because it's not the average of any UPS worker. It's the average of the truck drivers, right? And like, yes, that has to be competitive with drivers of other industries, and it is because the union made it that way, right? Like, so this sort of thing, like, then like obviously baggage handlers and the people loading the trucks, like that's a whole nother part of the negotiations, and those people need to get taken care of and raises too. But there's a little bit of misleading going on here when he says like it's just the average worker. It's like it's the truck drivers.
Bucks or something.
720.
Well, let me actually skip a little bit ahead here because they get that they their math is worthless as I just showed, but they'll get a little bit they'll comment on it a little bit.
You thought the number would be way lower. You thought that they don't deserve this amount. What is it that shocked you?
I mean, you were shocked. You said 55,000. So what were you shocked about?
Yeah, I'm shocked by the number. Yes, I don't know.
How much would they have to pay you, Vinny, to wear the brown shorts?
Shocked by the poorly contextualized number. I mean, I don't doubt that these guys think that the truck drivers themselves are overpaid, but like, it's a little bit bad hosting by PBD.
Drive a truck with no door and a flimsy seatbelt.
It's exactly two times.
Guys,
this guy knows it's.
Can we have a serious conversation?
Sorry.
It's exactly 2 times what you guessed. Okay.
Yeah.
You said 55. It's $101,000. Okay, give or take.
That's average. Does that factor in CEO? Is that factor in? Okay.
That's a full-time employee. Just $49 an hour.
That's great.
That's insane. All right, so.
Okay, so now here's where he tries to go to. Now, UPS is a profitable company, makes billions of dollars in profits every quarter. He tries to go to like the pricing as if like, I think he still thinks like the pandemic, maybe there's like some price like raise, something like that. But he realizes the price doesn't make his point, so he goes crazy with it. Watch this.
Regular item. Just go prices at UPS to ship anything, okay? Prices at UPS to ship anything. Let's just see what it comes up. Okay, zoom in. All right, so, zoom in. Okay, right there. So check this out. 1 pound is $8.44, okay? 2 to 4 business days. 2 pounds, $9.96. Okay, guess what? Now, what if they say, well, we want it to go to $490 an hour? Well, we can make that happen. We just got to make it $88 a pound. So this idea...
What?
This is not the first time he's done this too. If you remember, the only other time we've covered him was when he was talking about trying to attack Bernie Sanders and AOC for Medicare for all.
Okay.
And he was like saying, it's like, and what's next? $1 million for every person, right? That will cost, that he talks about how much money that will cost the country to give everyone $1 million. It's like, I don't know. Not the brightest debate tactic ever.
Yeah, so I mean, I was looking into our boy PBD here, and
by the way, sorry, before we get into all the shit,
please.
Those UPS drivers, right, deserve that much money and more. As we've made very clear with our coverage of these contract negotiations, the things that Sean O'Brien has said, the things that the Teamsters Union has said, this is one of the most profitable corporations in America. And the people at the top get paid fat cat salaries for what they do. The idea that it's absurd for the people who actually do the labor that make this into an extremely profitable and critical part of the American economy, right, don't deserve to be able to participate the fruits of their own labor is just absurd. It is like the worst back of the class, lazy asshole kind of thing to say, hey, those guys who are working really hard, I don't think they should be making good money for what they do.
Yeah. Now, we'll stop it there. We'll go to back to the Twitter page because it kind of summarizes where they go with the rest of this clip here, but in I think an even more interesting way. So, Lakota Mam says millionaires complaining about the working class making a decent living. Yes, it's 2023. And Valuetainment Media, which is PBD's whole crew here, says, sweetheart, millionaires could care less if they raise prices. It hurts the middle class. I would highly encourage you to fight for your family and also become a millionaire. God bless. Now, I mean, let's take this clause by clause. Millionaires could care less if they raise prices. Millionaires are quite actually preoccupied with the cost of labor in this country. This is why, like, immediately when like the death rate goes beneath like absolutely catastrophic end of days, they started asking through every capitalist media organization, why doesn't anybody want to work anymore? Right? Mm-hmm. Like they are very much concerned with that. Second of all, like, yes, there's profits. Like, what are you talking about? It's not that this thing isn't being run for as a non-profit. Like,
no, and I mean, like, I'm sorry, like, is it irony, Matt? Right, to sit here and talk about how like you want to turn people into millionaires, right? And to what was the term you said for your family?
Become I would highly encourage you to fight for your family and also become a millionaire.
Yeah, so to fight for your family, right? But now these guys who are literally fighting for themselves, their class, and their families here, yes, right? They're the demons and the enemy. Despite the fact that they actually do valuable work for society. Versus some guy with a drop shipping empire or some guy who owns 3 condos and is charging somebody too much to live there, right? Those guys are fighting for their family. A bunch of guys in a union saying, hey, this company's making a lot of money. I think I should be paid for the work that I'm doing fairly. Those guys aren't fighting for their family?
Yes. No, actually, that's exactly right. Like, this was enough for me last week to christen a new nickname for Patrick Bet-David as Parasite Bet-David. Just that, because I assumed he was like a day trader that struck it lucky or something like that, got a bunch of payouts, something like that. Mm-hmm. And honestly, well, let's go to his bio first. About PBD, let's I'll make this a little bit bigger, I suppose. Patrick's amazing story starts with his family immigration to America. Love immigration. Great. We need more of it. When he was 10 years old, his parents fled Iran as refugees during the Iranian Revolution and were eventually granted U.S. citizenship. After high school, Patrick joined the U.S. military and served in the 101st Airborne before starting a business career in the financial services industry. Now that, I think, is a fancy way of saying moving richer people's money and getting rich yourself. After a tenure with a couple of traditional companies, interesting, he was inspired to launch PHP agency, an insurance sales, marketing, and distribution company, and did so before he turned 30. PHP is now one of the fastest growing companies in the financial marketplace. Patrick is a passionate, blah, blah, blah. That's very interesting. Now, I will say, I find there's a little bit of, to me, it's like financial services, whatever, you're buying and selling. And I don't want somebody who makes a lot of money buying and selling, telling the people who actually make the things that are being bought and sold how much they deserve. I think you should shut the fuck up and be happy with what you're broken off with. But it turns out that it's actually maybe even a little bit darker than that, because as I shared the name Parasite Bet-David, more and more people are saying it. People got into my mentions with, actually, he's an MLM guy.
Oh, hell yeah.
I found that my ears pricked up.
Fight for your family.
There's a guy, CoffeeZilla. I believe this is excerpted clips of a CoffeeZilla expose of PBD, and they had like the whole back and forth. This person, Awolabi Aziz, did a sort of breakdown of it. So I just want to share a little bit of this, and I'll just repeat what I said. Like, Parasite, you talk about people that are working fucking hard, man, and you're gonna go in your air-conditioned studio. Look, I do this for a living. I'm not about to come and say the guy who delivered this needs to be paid less. Okay. Anyway,
they do make money off of you.
This is about PHP, this company he went to found before his 30s after leaving the traditional financial services companies.
Having insurance, right? So we'll get into it right now, but they charge you, PHP charges you $250 for the insurance license. That's one aspect. Cool. Now, you can't be an insurance agent that doesn't have insurance. So what do you have to do? You yourself have to be insured. So once you sign up to get insurance, life insurance, whatever it is, that's the point in which the person who introduced you to the business essentially gets a commission of sorts. And he essentially addresses it in his own video.
About what their business model is.
And what was she saying?
Well, after that, I bit the bullet. I went full force and I said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be honest, she kept talking about how people make $100,000 on their first year, how some people do, and how people end up making $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a year of passive income after only a couple or a few years of working there. And she also said that many of this was achievable while having...
I just want to pause on that and just rail on one of my hobby horses. It's a profound symptom of a sick society that so many people seek passive income. And of course, like that is the people who run the world, that's what they live off of, right? That people who are, especially saw this with the crypto, right? Like the money for nothing. And that's meant to be some sort of virtue, like the manosphere, being masculinity. It's figuring out how to get money for doing nothing. I mean,
no, it's disgusting.
Or going to school, or even both, which she claimed was her case. Third meeting, when Karen, the boss, explained to me how things worked at PHP. She would throw these things here and there in order to motivate me. Stories about Patrick Bet-David, about how he knew her personally, and about how other higher up people were doing so well. But at one point, she explained the PHP hierarchy. The people up top make a lot of money on commissions based on their sales, but most importantly, based on their recruits. So people are most incentivized to recruit other people above making a life insurance policy sale. And you may be asking why. And the reason why is because if they recruit you, they will tell you,
in order to be a life insurance agent with us, you must buy a life insurance policy. Can you imagine what it would look like if you are a life insurance agent and you don't buy a PHP life insurance policy?
And so, of course, new agents are going to buy life insurance policies. So that's how they fulfill their sales and their recruitment quotas, which moves them up the ladder towards higher commissions. So while they don't earn a sign-up bonus if they recruit you, the fact that they recruited you counts towards a higher commission when you eventually buy a life insurance policy, because you don't want to be a life insurance agent that doesn't have life insurance.
I'm sorry, you lost me a bit there.
What I thought PHP was about was this. I signed up with PHP, I learned about their products, and I'm
just saying this video is very trippy.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what all this stuff is here. It's a combination because he goes back to, I think, this CoffeeZilla guy putting this stuff to Patrick Bet-David, and Patrick Bet-David does the fucking biggest runaround, man. I'd recommend this video.
No, I didn't mean for you to stop. I mean, I want to see where it goes.
Yeah,
it's hard to know.
I think it kind of just drives the point home a little bit more here.
Insurance products to qualified prospects that need those products. I make money off of the commission, and PHP makes money off of the commission. It sounds simple, right? In reality, the way it actually works is this. I sign up with PHP, I have to pay $250 in order to receive my life insurance license. Then the people at PHP actively discourage me from actually learning the material of their course about how to sell life insurance and what life insurance actually is. They were saying just pass the test and then just recruit. A couple of them said, hey, you just need a 60% to pass, so don't go through the whole course, just go through it really quickly and then pass. That's all we care about. And why is that? The reason why is because PHP makes money off the license fee that they charge you for being an agent, and then off the life insurance policy that they sell you, because you can't be a life insurance agent if you don't have life insurance. And by signing you up, the people that signed you up move up the ladder in commission. The next time they sell a life insurance policy to a new recruit, they get a higher commission. And after they've signed...
So yeah, scamming desperate people that frankly should have a job, a more productive job given to them by the state. But people that are desperate for to get ahead, I mean, and that are sold a line about, ooh, Patrick Bet-David drives Ferraris. First of all, Patrick Bet-David saying you invest in cars, bro. I mean, look,
classic financial advice.
Yeah, I love to invest in a Ferrari that's going to be worth $120,000 less in 5 years. I mean, but anyway, sick that he is going after these guys for $250 a fucking pop. and getting them to believe in something, and actually he's just bleeding them. He's getting them on the hook to sick it. And so how fucking dare you, all you guys, sit in that studio paid for on this type of shabby shit?
Yeah, I mean, I can't, like, that's right, man. I mean, like, 100%. I mean, the audacity of what these guys are threatened by, right? Just like all these kind of manosphere TikTok finance dudes, they are threatened by people who actually work for a living.
Yeah.
They are threatened by people who are actually productive members of society, because especially when those guys do it in a way that means that they can put food on the table for their family, right? So the kind of like, oh, I have to be a kind of scammer because it's the only way to get around in this, messed up world kind of thing. That all evaporates when you see, oh, what? Wait a second. Being in a union and working in a very productive and important part of the American economy means that you're actually of value to humanity and you can get some money for yourself, right? That's a huge threat to these guys' worldview, which is why they're wasting their breath attacking people who are literally fighting for their family and thankfully getting results.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I need to tack on another guy I hate at the end of this, Jason Calacanis. All in, Jason, crypto scammer. Sold a bunch of Solana, I believe it was, or at least joked about it with David Sachs and Chemath Palpatine. Anyway, has this funny, and I look, David, I'm giving you this cold, but let's see, you used to do the Griscom economics minute.
Let's
see if you can assess any issues here. Fun with numbers. UPS drivers will make $170,000 a year by the end of their new contract, about $80 an hour in 2029. Really? And now here's his napkin math. 10-hour shift equals $800. How many packages per hour? 5, 10, 800 packages, $800 per 50 packages. Now, I'll just say, like, was quite a number of people who said 5 to 10 packages an hour. More like 50 to 100. Like, bro, how in the world do you think your driver was...
Those guys don't run? This is why these guys run scam banks, and like multi-level marketing schemes, instead of distribution companies.
I mean, like, you know what it is? It's like, and like some guys are like, yeah, I'm trying to do the math. It's like, bro, you live in a suburb, and like it's not like that's not the main drive, and maybe like a really even 100%. Big suburb where you have a lot of distant union neighbors, like, and you can't do first of all, they're not just dropping things off like the Santa Clauses that they are. They're picking things up too, and that's also revenue. Like, like it's just like it's so childlike. But the thing is like, and look, we've criticized all the Biden economy boosters that really want like, hey, vote for Joe. He's done enough. But I will say one thing, and I don't like trust Jerome Powell. I think they're raising interest rates to break labor. But I will say what Obama did, which is just flood the zone with cash. So guys like Jason Calacanis can throw it around fucking San Francisco. Like, this is why these guys are fucking ludicrous. This is why, like, all the promise of Silicon Valley that we grew up with, it's chatbots. We're fucking fascinated that a chatbot like says I love you or doesn't say the N-word or something. Like, that's why it's gone nowhere.
No, I mean, this is like, just to bring it back to like the, the real deal stuff too. It's like, this is one of the fundamental criticisms of capitalism, is that like capitalism produces like tremendous amounts of wealth. But it leaves it in the hands of some of the dumbest and most inefficient minds in society.